ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can't stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You could do whatever you feel. Young man, I was once in your shoes. I said I was down and out with the blues. I felt no man cared if I were alive. I felt the whole world was so dry. That's when someone came up to me and said, young man, take a walk up the street. There's a place there called the YMCA. They can stop you back on your way. Stop you back on your way. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. YMCA.
I think we had a good season, whether our record reflects it or not. I think you guys. Alright, so this first award, this kid kind of came in late, but when he got on the court, he kind of just figured it out. He's very quiet, and it's funny because I felt bad because when I had the boys run, I would look at his face and he would just be like, all right, cool. And I'm like, you did nothing wrong. Joseph. This next kid, I would say, is the one kid that made me laugh almost every day. If it wasn't because of how he would talk mess about Elliot sometimes, it would be just how he would probably be playing at like a 7, but in his head he was always at like a 4. And I appreciate that because I think that's a healthy type of delusion. Tyler Tom. Okay. This particular player, when I think of the epitome of hard work, I think of this guy because when he touched the ball, it didn't always look great, but he would always work hard to make it look better the next day. And he ended up being a very integral part of the team as a starter. Gabriel. This kid I actually knew before I got here. And he reminds me of like my little cousin where sometimes I want to rip my hair out, but I still love him anyway. And I will say athletically he is a beast. Anthony. win games because if we did not have him as a blocker, we would not have done as well as we did. Ethan left. This kid also made me laugh every day. And it wasn't because I wanted to, it was just because he's such a goofball, I kind of had no choice. Elliot Right, so this kid was also a late ad, but when he got on the court, he earned a starting spot. Now, mind you, he wasn't always there because apparently he's also great in track too. But when he was there, he did great things. Sean Walker. This kid, what can I say about this kid? So he played a couple positions, and at one time I even had him set during practice, which I didn't think would look good, but then it looked good, and I was confused. But he's another integral part of our starters because he did so much from passing to hitting to blocking. Brandon Fan. So this last kid, I also knew him before I got here. And then when I found out he was going to be on my team, I was excited because I was like, I know what he can do. So he came in and just made an immediate impact. And I want to thank him for his leadership and just for trying his best every day. Sean. So I have one more award for MVP. And this goes to Sean Lee, but let me tell you why first. He played oppo, he played setter, he played outside. Also, he was the only person that would probably yell at his team more than I did. And he did it with such a positive attitude, whether he was frustrated or not. And I just appreciate it so much, man.
Sorry, Bernie, I'm not great with speeches, so I'll try to do this as quick as possible. First off, JD, congratulations on going undefeated this season.
That's my boy Victor, man. Shout out Victor. Hey, let's get another clap for Coach Victor.
We had our ups and downs, but what stood out the most was the effort and growth and energy each of you guys brought out every time you stepped on the court. I'm proud of the progress this team has made and the way you guys competed together. More than anything, I'm grateful I got to coach this unique group of boys. I'm looking at one particular person. And I'm thankful that I was part of your journey this year. So, first off, my Liz. Particularly one. I know you didn't have an opportunity to play that much. But I'm so happy that you were hoping to play outside for the first time. But let's say this, then here we are probably going back to 50. That one is Logan. efforts and determination that all teams want. You constantly push yourself and different improve and continue to grow, both on and off the court. The effort and intensity you guys before our awards on behalf of the team.
Before Coach Sherry gets started, I want to go ahead and acknowledge some of the players that are not here. Senior Bob and you. Sophomore Lenore Singh. Senior Brandon Boyd. Senior Liv Wyatt Long. Senior Setter and Captain Matthew Kahn. And junior opposite lefty Kenneth Bell. And Jordan Left. Mr. Divers.
Right. This first individual I took knowing that I would need to prepare him for the next season, really, because the two other people in his position were seniors. So I needed to have somebody gain experience throughout the season. Not knowing that he would actually find playing time on the court, my expectation was just to train him for the next season when I wouldn't have any setters. And slowly but surely, this young man found his way on the court. Whether it was early on in the season or during playoffs in key moments, he worked his butt off every single day, making sure he understood what we were trying to do to make sure that he executed my expectations both on and off the court. Ethan. This young man has literally played every single position on the court in the front row. Started off as an outside and was an easy target, unfortunately, on the outside for serve receive. And we ended up moving him to the right side, and that was probably one of the best decisions I made as a coach. However, he filled in also in the middle when I asked him, knowing that he's played that position before with very little reps. And I will tell you that in every single position he has played this season has made a difference in every single match. Julian. This young individual, I remember one of my first conversations with him, and I had a long line of outsides after tryouts. And I looked at my coaches and I said, I have like 5 outsides, guys. And we had conversations early on in the season, and I asked these kids to rank themselves. And he was like, Coach, I think I'm number 2. And I was like, that's a great number. I didn't agree, I didn't tell him that at the time, but he slowly found his way to that position. And I was like, what a confident young man. And this kid stepped up, practice after practice after practice, and made sure that he found himself on the court. And unfortunately got injured and kind of took himself out of that position in the second half of the season, but super excited because he's still really young and has 2 more seasons with us. Ian. This young man didn't start with us, but made sure that he came to every single practice. Made sure he was aware of what varsity was running, so that when it came time for him to make a difference when all of our seniors went on trips to Japan, I wish I could go, he was able to step up when we were shorthanded at tournaments. He was able to step up and still be able to contribute, which is actually very rare for a JV player to come in and step up and do what he was able to do. And against some of the best teams in California, against a team that was ranked 50th overall. I'm really surprised and proud by this young man and excited to see what he's going to be able to do for varsity next year. Timothy. This young man happens to be talented and not just volleyball, and it's really unfortunate, but made a huge difference, I think, when it mattered the most. And I think if I had him the entire season, I think our season might have looked a little bit different, but I'm glad he came back at the right time, peaked at the right time, and helped us get to where we were towards the finals. Toby. This young man came, and it's very rare that you have somebody is that offensive in the middle. Whenever we fed him the ball, it was almost a guaranteed kill. And it's unfortunate that we couldn't get him more balls, but I will say that for him being a middle, he got just as many kills as somebody that played on a pin. And if you know anything about volleyball, that is very, very, very rare. To have as many kills as somebody that plays 3 rotations on either the outside or on the right side. This young man will be very much missed next season, and I know he was a big part of our offense and making sure that we had one-up scenarios all the time. Ethan Lee. This young man, we had several conversations early on in the season, and I think once he finally bought into what I was trying to do, understood my vision, and understood his role on the team, and really bought in. Once he bought in, that changed the dynamic of our team tremendously. Once he understood what I needed from him, I think it changed a lot of not just our defense, but our offense. And I remember conversations with him, and he's like, "Coach, why was I not considered for this particular position?" And I said, honestly, it's because I needed more from you than just passing. I needed something else. And this young man has really held down not just our defense, but really gave us an opportunity offensively through the playoffs. Ian Kong. This young man, I knew what he could do offensively. I didn't know how good he was going to end up until I put him to the test. And this young man, I think, is one of the best liberos I have seen, not just in our league, but in a while. I think I've seen him hit. He plays for me for club as a hitter. I've never seen him in a position of being just a libero and having that role of leading. And I think it's really made him step up, not just as a player, but as an individual with a voice. And super proud because he's only a freshman and there's 3 more years to see what he's able to do. in that position. Trevor. So I asked my coaching staff, I said, you guys, it's really hard for us to pick who I think is an MVP or who I think should deserve special awards this season. And it's not because that you're not all talented. You're all very talented. And I think that's why we went as far as we did. But there wasn't somebody that necessarily stood out and was like, this is the MVP like most teams. Everybody contributed in some shape or form. And this particular person, I think, was a little more undercover. But I think, and funny story, I told this story earlier, but I should tell it to all of you parents. When I first came in, I sat, again, all of my outsides down, and I said, this is where you rank. I told this individual he was my number 5 out of 5 outside. I think he probably looked at me like I was crazy and proved me wrong, because from day one, he earned himself a spot as a 6th rotation player. It happened that kids were sick, it happened kids weren't there. His passing was already pretty good, and that made him an automatic back row player. Offensively, I wouldn't say you hit the hardest, but I think he's smart with what he does. I think he's smart in knowing when to tool. I think he's smart in knowing when it was open to swing. He by far got the most amount of sets playing 6 rotations. I think he was by far our best server. I think he did just enough serve receive to make sure that he stayed on the court. And it was never a matter of we took him out. It was either he was injured or tired or needed a little breather that he took himself out. But this young man, from start to finish, the end of the season, played 6 rotations, one of our few. Nathan. So these individuals will be getting, I guess, practice? Yes. Trevor. Toby. So next we are going to do the Temple City Awards. So this first individual, we are giving most defensive player. Again, not just for, with volleyball, passing is the start of everything. Without a good pass, we don't get a good set. Without a good set, we don't get kills. This was the first touch every single time. Passing above a 2.2, which is almost at a college level, 2.2 to a 2.4, with more than half the amount of digs than everybody else. This player strongly deserves Defensive Player of the Year, Trevor Chen. So I mentioned this earlier. Looking at the stats, I said, I don't know who deserves this next award. So it was really tough because not only did our center do a great job of spreading the ball around, but like I said, it's very hard for a middle to be able to be so offensive. And literally, if I look at the amount of kills versus the amount of errors, this young man scored by far the highest percentage in hitting with over a 3.48, which is huge because you want to be above a 250 minimum. That's where we want to be. So this young man hit at a 3.48 throughout the entire season with, again, more than 300 kills on the season. So anybody who's played 3 rotations, he's matched that evenly. I truly wish this young individual were here tonight because I think he would have liked to have heard what I said, but it's recorded. This young individual was not only a leader on the court, but off the court. And I knew that there was a lot of things that he would tell the team. I didn't agree with how he said them. Profanity is not something I usually allow, but being that it was my first season and I knew he already had been with the kids for a couple of years, I kind of just let him go and rolled with the punches. And I'm honestly really glad I did, because I didn't have to say much when it came to huddles, because he had already told the kids, this is what's open, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do better. And I, in my 26 years of coaching, have never had a captain that has said what I needed to say and I didn't have to say it in the huddle. I always had to be the cheerleader, and that was purely my job, because this young man did everything else for me. He led the team. He said, come on guys, this is what we need. This is how we need to win. And that's why I'm giving this young man the Ramrodder Award. Matthew. So the last award, I think I've talked quite a bit about him already. But no surprise, because I didn't know after I submitted all of this that I believe he was your MVP last season. Nathan Chai. So the next thing we're going to do is scholar athletes.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again.
I don't know what the
Just my
exact
children
name is.
and
It just says
my
above average.
Thank my lucky stars
Whatever that may
to
mean.
be living here
These are
today.
the following students that
The
may
flag
be
still stands for
above average
freedom,
GPA
and they
on
can't
the
take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand next to you in her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt that this land, God bless the USA.
Next up is Trevor.
ocean and sea. From Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love you, sis. God bless the
Two more things. So, I believe this is for going to CIS. So, so last but not least, I would like to announce your Neil Congo first, second, and this is not released yet, so please do not say anything. This is just we are doing our banquet tonight. I fought really hard for us as a school. So without further ado, honorable mention, Matthew Tom. Second team, Jordan Laus. And first team, Nathan Shaw. That is your 2026 year. wanted to say a special thank you to these girls who not only took the time to travel with us, but was at every home game, making sure that our stats, our book, and all of that was taken care of. That was something that you guys never had to do or learn. Without these young individuals, you guys would have to be doing that. So a round of applause. I think you guys did
Do we get gift cards?
You'll let Krista know.
Thank you, girls. Mr. Lass, you can come up.
I want to say thank you for all of your positivity, for being at every game, every tournament, all the stats. You did so much for us. I really appreciate it.
I know we've definitely taken the program to new heights. Everything from a soft frosh team to you guys going farther than one round in CIF, almost winning the league, a lot of firsts this season. And it really is all of your help and support, each and every one of you. You know, there's so many parents that have helped that are unnamed, from the kids constantly coming in, making sure that whatever the coaches need, you were taken care of as well. Again, thank you guys for really a first great season, and I look forward to having a majority of you guys back next year and what we're going to be able to do moving forward.
Like the snack bar pack.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man,